Hi everybody, welcome to our channel Motherhood Realities. I'm super excited to be sharing with you my journey on motherhood. And like you may know, I am a mother of two and I enjoy every single beat of my journey. And yes, it's a blessing, and there has been challenges too and I am super ready to share everything, and I hope we can help each other grow and heal and just work together as I share. So feel free to subscribe and share our link. And yes, so part one of that I shared last week was pregnancy after loss, and I shared about my miscarriage and how it happened and what the pain I went through and all that. So for part two, I am gonna share the good news when I found out I was pregnant. So in this part, I'm going to be sharing my friends and family's reaction and what happened thereafter. All right. So here I was 3 years later. After my miscarriage, I found out I was pregnant again. It was a mixed feeling. I was super excited and scared at the same time. But yes, I found out on my best friend's birthday on April 12th, and I'm like, okay, give her a call. I give her a call. She doesn't pick up. I'm like, oh my goodness. And you know those times when you find out some good news and you have this one particular person you want to share with and they don't pick up their phone? Yes, that's what happened to me. It was tough. I'm like, I have to keep it to myself. But within that time, I'm so excited, and I'm also scared about how I was going to go through this. I'm like, dear God, please let me not have another miscarriage. I cannot bear the pain. I cannot stand it. So I go to the hospital, and it was confirmed that I was pregnant. I'm excited. I share with my baby's dad, and then weeks later, I'm dying with the secret. I'm like, how do I not tell? So, anyways, the morning that I woke up and ready to share with my immediate family, I started bleeding. And I just couldn't do it. So I just dressed up and went to hospital. I'm like, it's happening again. I'm losing my baby again. And they were like, they didn't know what to do. They're like, they checked. They're like, you seem okay, but let's just keep watching it and see. I'm like, guys, this is the same thing that happened to me a couple of years ago. You just told me to sit back and wait. I can't do this. I can't just sit back and wait. They were like, there's nothing we can do. We just wait it out and blah, blah, blah. And they were talking, and I just could hear noise instead. So, fast forward, I bled for 9 weeks, guys. Like, I was pregnant at 9 weeks, and I was still bleeding. But they were checking the baby, and it was all okay. So, that was kind of that gave me some hope. I was like, okay, fine. But at some point I got to share this I got to make up my mind, and it's like, if you want to keep this baby, Fiona, you just have to get down in prayer. You got to pray for this child. So I think like at around 5 weeks, I got down and I was like, God, I need a name for this child. I need a name for this child. And literally, I was thinking of names. I went to church. I read books. I was on the internet. I'm trying to look for a name, and I just didn't find a name that fit what I felt like I was carrying inside me. I felt like I don't know, every parent feels this way, but trust me, I felt like what I was carrying inside me was great. I couldn't explain the feeling, but then I was also scared that I was about to lose him, you get? Or by then I didn't know it was going to be a boy. But yes, here I was one night, I'm sleeping, and I just hear a voice telling me a name. Like I had a dream, and then I will explain the dream in another video. But yes, within that dream, I had a name. And I woke up and made up my mind that that was the name I was going to call my baby. But I had to go into hospital that morning. And when I got to hospital, I was still bleeding. And that morning was worse than all other mornings. I thought this time it was done. I'm like, I'm just going in for them to give me the bad news. But I just didn't know what to think. Anyways, while I was waiting for the doctor, I got my phone, and I didn't know how to pray and what to say in my prayer. So I got my phone and started texting God. I'm like, dear God. Now remember, I got a name over like during the night. I had a name, and now I had made up my mind that my baby was going to be called Malaika. His middle name was going to be Malaika. So I'm texting God and saying, God, you cannot have given me Malaika to take him away. You just need to help me. I gotta glorify your name. Give me a reason. Give me a reason to glorify your name, oh God. Like I'm texting and I'm crying. Like it was bad. So the doctor comes in and she's like, oh, Fiona, you know what? Like everything looks good, so we can't really say much. Just sit back and wait. And I'm like, God, really? Anyways, I go home, and like 2 days later, I start bleeding, and then somehow everything was fine again. And then I began to enjoy my pregnancy. Because then the worries just kind of vanished, and I just concentrated on making sure my baby was fine. But like I said, every single day, every single night, now that I had a name for my baby, I prayed over him. I prayed over him, calling him by his name, talking to him. I told him, Malaika, you can't leave me. Like, it was like he could hear me. But I was like, I have already fallen in love with you. There's no way I'm just going to let you go. It was tough. It was tough for the first couple months, guys. But here was the toughest. What made it really exciting and even tougher was when I shared it with my daughter. I go like, hey, you're gonna have a sibling. Now this is when the bleeding had stopped. I'm like, you're gonna have a sibling. And I will never forget the reaction my daughter gave me. I was recording her, thank God, but she did not see me recording because I had the phone hidden. So but her reaction made me feel even stronger, guys. I told God, I was like, I can't have already shared it with my daughter and you don't take care of me and my baby now. Like, Nicole already knows, so God, do your thing. So Nicole was so happy. That's my daughter, and she was so happy. She's like, oh mom, I can't believe you've done this for me. I'm so happy. And she's like, what are we gonna call him? I'm like, oh, I already made up the name, so just relax. We from then, so I had to share with her and tell her not to tell anybody because I wasn't 4 months yet. So she kept the secret. But sometimes when she would have a friend over, she goes like, can I share with just this one person? Can I? And I'm like, no, let's wait, guys, let's wait, we can't do it. So anyways, when the time to share came, I shared with one friend that was out of the family, and her reaction was not good. I went to her house, shared with her, and when I went home, she sent me a WhatsApp of a woman with a baby, a baby that had all these complications, heart issues, and like the lady was in pain. Her baby was in pain, she was in pain, and I cried and said, why? What is she trying to tell me? Like, it was sad. So guys, when you're pregnant, piece of advice, choose who you tell wisely. Like, not everybody's gonna be happy for you. Anyways, I felt so bad that I had not called Charlotte back and told her, because she's my ride or die. Like, yeah, she's somebody that will always be there for everybody in their good times and their bad times. So with good news or bad news, she's the person that you would always want to run to first. Anyways, here I was learning my lesson the hard way. Time went on, and you know, pregnancy, you can't hide. So a couple people started to see it. Some would say weird things, some would say great stuff, but every time somebody said something I did not want to hear, I made sure I got it done with. Like, if somebody said something like, oh, aren't you scared? Like, scared about what? You get? So I would make sure that I deal with that there and then, and I don't think about it again. So fast forward, I had an awesome pregnancy thereafter. I stopped worrying. I just concentrated on taking care of my baby, my unborn baby, and just having a lot of fun. As in, like, I really had a good time when I was pregnant. And yes, for part 3, I will be sharing his arrival and all the amazing things that happened, all the scary things, and what I avoided while I was pregnant, and like things I was offered in a hospital and I went like, no, I won't do that, and what I went for, and how my baby came out and how he's been doing ever since, and some of the craziness that has happened in between. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming on again. And like I said, this is gonna be a channel where I share about my motherhood journey, but I will also be sharing a few things, like a few projects that I am taking on right now, and you can learn from me, I can learn from you. So please feel free to share, suggest, and all that stuff. Okay, like, subscribe. I love you all, and let's enjoy the children that we have, because they are a blessing. Thank you so much, guys. Part 3 is gonna be the best part because it has a little bit more details, And like I said, I'm sharing about this particular part because about this particular topic because my son will be turning 3 in December, and so this is more about sharing about his conception and his arrival and all the good things and the bad things that have happened, and also celebrating his presence right now. Thank you guys. See ya.